What video game shaped your childhood? Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. I used to love watching my son play those. The Ratchet and Clank games also. Also Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper. There were too many. I still have a soft spot for SimCity 4. That game still holds up well today. Most of the Star Wars games from the early 2000s to mid 2000s. I spent countless hours on both battlefronts. Star Wars Bounty Hunter was a great story during that time period. Star Wars Galaxies was probably my favorite MMO that I played. The Tony Hawk Pro Skater series was great. Everyone in my neighborhood played them. It really brought us together. All of the 3D Super Mario games. All the way back to 64 to Galaxy 2. There were a few great James Bond games that my friends and myself played. GoldenEye was one of them. Haha. World is Not Enough and From Russia with Love were great at the time. It's funny to look back at From Russia with Love. We didn't think graphics would get any better than that. Boy, how we were all wrong on that. And then there were those games that seemed to release along with every movie that was coming out. I miss those days. Right? How can you narrow this choice down to one answer? For me, it's basically an entire era of Northeast's, SNES, and 90s computer games. Did the Warcraft trilogy influence me more than Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 US? No idea. Was Fallout 1 and 2 a bigger deal than MechWarrior? Couldn't tell ya. All I know is that I love me some video games. This asking which game shaped your childhood is like asking which movie or which song. Possibly which book. The real answer is far larger than any one single title. Pokemon. Pokemon was my life for years, and it was hard to let go of once I grew out of it. It was a big help in making friends at an early age. Same. I loved Pokemon so much I tried learning as much info as I could. Still somewhat invested, only in the cartoons, and I think about how much of an obsession I had. Nice to know Pokemon will always be a part of my childhood, and I hope it can end in a way that's satisfying, and doesn't become a carbon copy of The Simpsons. Doesn't end just for money. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Bought that on Steam last year. Are the memories. I can hear the theme tune in my head. Exclamation mark. I found an old ass CD we bought way back in 2002 or something. During the lockdown, I tried to play the CD on my laptop. Fingers crossed. And it worked. I'm all Roller Coaster Tycoon now. Definitely the original Mario games. My mom, of all people, introduced me to them, and we would play them together for hours. Having a mom Harlot was a gamer was the best. My mom loves playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. Oh, I love that. My mom is no longer with us, but I think she would have enjoyed Animal Crossing, and especially would have got a kick out of having a Switch. I also play ACNH. If your mom needs a friend or any help, let me know. Close bracket. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Played that one so much, and I swear it's the reason I'm a thought for stealth games nowadays. The Sly franchise was my entire childhood. It is definitely the reason I love stealth games today. Banjo-Kazooie. I loved Banjo-Kazooie. I have been wanting to play it again for years now. I so wish they would port it over to a newer system. Emulator and a $15 USB N64 controller. I did it a couple of years ago and played through Banjo, Mario, GoldenEye, Donkey Kong, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Worth every second. The Legend of Zelda. I remember my mother surprised us with Super Nintendo. Came with A Link to the Past. I would play this for hours. Ditto. Best game ever. Super Mario World. Underrated answer here. Even though I prefer Zelda to the Mario series, Super Mario World is probably the greatest platformer ever created. The gameplay, the artistic variety of the landscapes, the music, the crazy intricate levels of secrets in the game are all amazing. I doubt any future platformer will ever rise to its level. I have to say that Super Mario 64 was equally great in all those ways. It was just groundbreaking in a different way. The Halo series. Getting together over the weekends for sleepover LAN parties gave me some fantastic memories. Same. I may only be 12 and didn't experience the golden days, but Reach and Halo 4 were amazing to play when I was 8. Got MCC this Christmas, and I'm having a blast. Minecraft. Minecraft single-handedly jump-started my interest into it and computers. Built my first computer for it. Learned basic server admin skills. Taught myself how to work with OS hosting and basic networking. Then got started on learning Java. Eventually learned about AskReddit. Once dad got a dedicated server to play around with. I don't play it nearly as much, but Minecraft probably influenced my career path a ton. I'm similar. Made a friend W Holatranus there. He taught me some Linuxy stuff and lots of useful administration stuff. Definitely a good way to learn. Also seeing Java completely lock up the server requiring a full remote reboot was another good learning experience. Chess. My father could only afford what we could use to survive. I used to watch people play in the library. Learned the rules, got better by simple observation. I eventually used a bit of broken wood, colored them with tiles, and used paper with letters indicating its piece. That deserves a wholesome award more than anything I've seen. I love chess. My nan used to live on a huge farm in Scotland. We'd only see her once a year, and it was a 12-hour drive. She had no Wi-Fi or service or any kind of games. But when we were there we would just play hours of chess on end. Thank you. Her comment was equally as satisfying as an award. Chess was pretty much a rite of passage in my family. We come from an impoverished history and board games were methods to pass the time too. Halo. Combat evolved. No question. If you've ever spent a whole road trip playing the Halo said demo over and over on a shitty HP laptop, while the fans and DC inverter pour out enough heat to warm the whole car, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Oregon Trail. Loved that game. When I was a little kid, we eventually got northeasts and I played a lot of Bubble Bobble and River City Ransom 2. Bubble Bobble! Exclamation mark. God, I wasted so much time on that game. Thanks for reminding me. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. The old one, not that shitty new one. I spent so many hours it with my sister and dad. Both W Harlot and Game Enema. The Simpsons Hit and Run. It was like GTA 4 kids and I loved every moment of it. Still waiting on a remaster. Zoo Tycoon. The original. I don't have a CD drive and have never found a working alternative, so I can't play it anymore. My first memory is of 2 or 3 year old me in an arcade playing 1942 with my dad. He is a Gallagher fan and bought a Northeasts, this in 1995 or so, when SNES was already out. I spent my childhood playing Super Mario Bros., Gradius, Super Spy Hunter and Iggy, Rock among others. One summer I got a Gamma Boy with Kirby's Dream Land 2. First game I ever owned, still have it. Close bracket. And then I went to my uncle's house and saw for the first time Gran Turismo in the PS1. Me. W Hollett. Up until that point I had only played 8-bit games. Suddenly saw a 3D car and my little mind was blown away. I remember my body turning with the car, my mouth wide open as I played with an orange Dodge prototype in the high-speed ring circuit. UIT. My father ended up buying the PS1 from my uncle, Claire, and I played games like Spyro and Gran Turismo. I really miss those blissful times. Gaming has a way bigger role in culture than people realize. Half-Life. More specifically, Half-Life 2 because it got me into HL2DM and Counter-Strike Source, which then got me into Garry's Mod, back when it was free, but you had to own every Source game under the sun to play it, and learning about custom content and other video gamey stuff. Black Ops 2 let me meet some friends I have to this day. Early's Barks Live COD was the golden age of gaming MMO. Loved BO 2, especially zombies. CNC Red Alert 2 gave me the love for RTS in general. I still find myself using voice lines from this game. I'm fine if I'm the only one in the room that gets it. It's hard to pick just one, because I spent my childhood playing a lot of old games my dad had, but I'd say Gun, Morrowind, and Age of Mythology were the top 3 games I'd play. Minecraft probably made my relationship with my friends deeper. Same with my cousin Hoss, a really big Minecraft fan, and so we've bonded over that. First ever game that I hooked. Still plays this day. all the mainline Pokemon games from 1999 to 2013 and most of its spin-offs, Mystery Dungeon, Ranger, Shadow Pokemon Duology, Stadium, Rumble, the golden era of Star Wars games, KOTOR 1 and 2, Old Battlefront 1 and 2, Bounty Hunter, GD Knight 2 and GD Academy, Original Trilogy Legacy of the Force, New Droid Army, Episode 1, Phantom Menace, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Force Unleashed 1 and 2, LEGO Star Wars 1, 2 and TCS, Mario Bros 1, 2, 3 on SNES, New Super Mario Bros. And 64 on DS, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and Shin Budokai 1 and 2, Power Rangers Time Force on PS1, Spyro 2 on PSX, Zeke the Geek, Bionicle on GameCube. I think I have a few more I really enjoyed, but these were my absolute faves. I absolutely loved Worms Armageddon and World Party as a kid. Played the Suga out of those games. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.